Hey, everybody, Drew here, Drew Dat Entertainment, coming at you with the first live edition of Breaking Rocks episode 12. Gaming or What is here in the chat, so is Chunk the Punk. How are you doing, guys? Joining me is my younger brother, as always, via Xbox Live Party Chat, Desert Nord. Hey, bro.
Hey there.
And as you can see by the title, we're talking about something that we normally would do on the Drew Dat Games podcast on the Drew Dat Games channel. Halo Infinite. Microsoft did it at their 20th anniversary live stream that ended about an hour ago, maybe a little more. They dropped the multiplayer on us today, instead of waiting to the 8th with the campaign. So we will be talking about that. That's the main feature of this episode. We also have like 7 other topics to discuss, because as this is Breaking Rocks, and this is for stuff that we are just otherwise pissed at. Waiting for Halo Infinite to finish updating. Yes, as you can see, so am I gaming, which I will be live on my Twitch channel once that is done. Playing it, so hopefully I'll be playing it with Gaming or What, as well as Joshy 064 as well on the channel. So with that in mind, the other topics we're here to talk about, I'll just go over them briefly, then we'll get into the first one I've listed. So YouTube is disabling the like button from public views. We're going to talk about the Aaron Rodgers stuff that had happened. We are also going to talk about the supply chain issues, John Gruden issues with Roger Goodell and the NFL, the next Predator movie called Prey. I want to talk about that. Halo, we're going to talk about, and then the prosecutor in the, is this how to pronounce the guy's last name? White House?
No, Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse, okay. I'm probably going to butcher that the entire time because I have it spelled wrong in my notebook, but oh well. And the fact that the prosecution used Call of Duty as a scapegoat for the shooting, and we'll get into that. And finally, Take-Two is DMCA striking GTA mods now. So there's a lot to rage about today.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to start with raging at the very company that owns the site that we're streaming on right now, which is a very smart move, I know. Google, YouTube, they dislike dislikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they a few days ago now.
Yeah.
Decided to do this, to remove this, like, for the, at least initially, for the desktop site, because it's still on the app, and it's still on the mobile versions of the app. You can still see downloads there, but they removed the download and gave the excuse that they're trying to protect smaller channels.
Which you and I, Nord, and I think our viewers in the chat will agree here that obviously they're not protecting Desert Nord, Drew Dat Games, Gaming or What, and Chunk the Punk. They're protecting Disney, Electronic Arts, Activision.
No, the hilarious part is that it's
IGN.
It. Not only is that not true, the exact opposite is true.
Yeah.
What they're protecting here is channels that would ordinarily have a vast reach because of their algorithm they designed, which is pro-corporate and pro-liberal, politically speaking. That algorithm shows people videos from corporate America and from major MSM sites, and news especially, and what people do on those videos that their algorithm shoves in our faces is we downvote on them. We downvote the hell out of them. We call it ratioing. We ratio the hell out of them.
Speaking of downvoting, and we will interrupt our discussion on certain things to bring up something you guys say in the chat. And Gaming or What gives the thumbs down in the chat.
Yeah. The ironicness there is hilarious. But,
Yeah.
what I was going to say is that they're doing this to cover their partners. They're doing this to cover their buddies. They're not doing this for anything small, anyone small. They're doing this to cover the people whose asses have to apparently be covered now because their reputation is so buried in shit that they can't seem to have any videos like the White House put out without getting ratioed into oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
The White House gets ratioed 6-1. Every video gets ratioed 6-1.
Gee,
6 downvotes to every upvote.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, no, and of course the internet doesn't like corporate America. The internet doesn't like the current president. This goes without saying, but this is the evidence for it. Now, the reason they're deleting the downvote button is blatant, obvious, clearly stupid, and literally no one supports this except for the people who operate the site.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether you're conservative, liberal, left, right, whatever, no one supports this who actually uses YouTube, except for a few people, channels, corporate and otherwise, and shills and MSM. They want this to happen, but they are not small in the sense that they are not reaching a tiny audience. They're reaching such a vast audience because of the algorithm that they get ratioed every time. That's the backfire of what they've decided to do with their algorithm. That has got nothing to do with people targeting smaller channels for abuse. If they cared about smaller channels getting abused, they would have stepped in and do a lot of other things before this.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't involve taking the downvote button away. Taking the downvote button away is absolutely asinine move that is indefensible if you think about it for 5 seconds.
To be fair, they're not actually fully taking away. You can still click it. It's just that it won't be publicly viewable. The content creator of that channel will still view it. However,
which makes their excuse even dumber.
However, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers had recently talked about on the Mario Kart stream how he was able to see the dislikes like from a separate account from another one that he has. So
yeah,
it's all really stupid and really flunky as hell in their implementation of it anyway, it seems. Some people can see them, other people can't.
What they're probably doing is taking the visible downvotes off of their corporate partners and their MSM partners and the White House page first, because those are the most affected. Ironically and hilariously, those are the most affected individuals, if we could call them individuals.
And Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Those are the people they care about. And those are the people that are getting ratioed all the time.
Yeah.
Instead of actually concerning themselves with what people actually want to see and hear and what they want to have happen in their country with their politicians. No, let's not worry about that. Let's just take everybody's ability to see that they are not liked away from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like something out of 1984, honestly. But yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it for me, anyway.
Yeah. So with that being said, I do want to say this to the chat before we move on to the next topic. Chunk the Punk, you are now a moderator for this channel as well, which makes you a moderator for Drudite Entertainment, Drudite Games, and Drudite Games on Twitch. So congratulations. As soon as Joshy gets here, I'll make him a mod over here as well, because he has appeared on the gaming podcast on the other channel, so he's earned the right to be a mod now. So with all of that in mind, yep, So the Sniper Elite makes his way to this YouTube channel as well in Chunk the Punk of the mods. So we'll come back to Aaron Rodgers because the supply chain thing fits into something you were talking about with the White House's YouTube channel and their unpopularity. So let's get into the supply chain shit.
Yeah.
And since this is, again, more on the political side of things, I'll just let you take the lead because you're more the political one here.
Yeah, the long and short of the supply chain issue is that you have a worker shortage and you have a increased cost of operations across the board, and you have this lovely mandate that the president was trying to jam down everyone's throats, all at the same time. And you have inflation coming in, and you have disruptions due to COVID and shipping, and you have jam ups at the ports, and you have a trucker shortage. Every single ounce of all of that has completely sent supply chains in the United States into a tizzy.
Yeah.
And it's caused shelves to be empty in certain product categories, products to be unavailable outright, waiting times, shipping delays, costs increases across the board.
Which is also only going to make the supply for next-gen consoles even fucking worse on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
the department, it doesn't help anything there either.
Yeah.
But what the White House decided to do in regards to them was make a YouTube video that blames the shortage on buying and purchases by consumers, but also at the same time recommends that they keep it up for reasons I can only explain by explaining that these people believe in demand-side economics, where they think that as long as people are buying goods, that means the economy is good, no matter what the other metrics say. It's a false ideology as far as I'm concerned. It's dumb and no way to run an economy. This is where we are, however. And that video, much like everything else they put out over there on the White House channel, also got ratioed to oblivion. Because pretty much everybody, except for maybe, I guess, 1/6 of the audience, can see right through it.
So with that in mind, chat, if you are ever interested in chanting either "Let's go Brandon" or "Fuck Joe Biden," this is the podcast for that in the chat. So if you're ever going to do it, you should be doing it here and not when I'm playing games on YouTube or on Twitch. Just saying. So get it out of your system. Let us see it, guys. Whichever one you prefer, doesn't matter to me because there's no filter here. Free speech reigns supreme with me, guys. So,
yeah, the one thing I would point out, that's the most, what should I say? The thing that lays this entire problem bare is the fact that Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who, frankly, is unqualified for that position. But secondly, has been AWOL for months from that actual position because he's on paternal leave because he adopted a child with his husband. I don't even know where to begin with any of that, but he's not doing his job. On top of the fact that all of this other stuff is going wrong.
Yeah. And people wonder why people have issues with the administration that
Just one of many horrendously stupid things.
that found its way
and-
into the White House the way that they did. I'll leave it at that.
Just in case anyone thought that the gas price issue was going to fix itself, he just went and took out another pipeline, the Michigan pipeline. He's about to KO that too.
Which
you can pretty much kiss $3 gas goodbye. It's now $4 for everybody coming up.
Which, correct me if I'm wrong, Canada's involved with that one, so he has to go up against the Canadian government for that one, right?
Well, sure, but since it operates in the United States, he has purview. But why, man? Why?
But that pipeline also
get it.
affects part of Canada too. So
they're trying to greenify the economy by force. We're not ready for that. And the only way we would be ready for that is if we had the infrastructure naturally built in.
Which we don't.
And demand for that power and demand for that type of power, that type of energy there. Well, okay, granted, demand is high, but guess what isn't? The tech. The tech has not caught up with demand. If you think that in the north, especially the north of the United States, anywhere north of I don't know, maybe Arkansas, if you think anywhere north of there, you can run wind or solar energy as your either primary or even close to primary source of energy, you're going to get millions of people killed. Whether you care about that or not is another story, Joe Biden. But you're going to get people killed if you don't stop the crap. They need fossil fuels for the sake of energy generation. And if you're not going to go with fossil fuels, you have got to embrace nuclear. Because if you don't do one of the two, you're going to get millions of people killed with your dumb green bullshit. Sorry, you are going to get millions killed with that dumb green bullshit. It doesn't function in cold weather. It doesn't function in bad weather. And cold and bad weather is all they get up there in these months of the year.
Chunk the Punk has something in the chat, or actually a couple things in the chat for you. First, fuck Joe Biden with a middle finger, a cursing face emoji, and another middle finger, followed by Trump 2024, red heart, 45 blue heart, red heart, 47 blue heart, U.S. American Eagle.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's all for you, Desert Nord. Are you fine with me saying who you voted for in the last election?
Yeah, we'll already know based on what I'm saying right now. So
he voted for Trump, and in my case, I have no problem with saying that I stayed home because my vote was a no confidence in the voting system.
Oh yeah,
and we saw that in the 2020 election in spades.
One of the many, I think, one of the many of us out here in the Arizona region.
Yeah,
Maricopa County specifically, that pretty much got BTFO'd, so to speak, on our election security. And, well, since the report came out, we now know it was bullshit. Over 9,000 of the votes were duplicates of mail-outs that came mailed right back in with two votes came in, one was mailed out. How did that happen? Well, that's right. Printing presses. Printing press go boom. It's basically the Democrats' point of view, you know.
But we're getting
we're getting far afoul of that.
Yeah, we stray completely from the supply chains, and the next topic is Aaron Rodgers. So
related, but only just.
So Aaron Rodgers. A recap from you, Desert Nord, on what happened here.
Yeah.
For those in the chat,
here was Aaron came down with COVID
after
having not previously had any problems with it, and went on the COVID list on the NFL. He hadn't previously been vaccinated at all, which is a good portion of the NFL and a good portion of sports athletes.
Some people are outraged, claiming that he lied about getting the vaccine, which he never, legitimately said those words in that order. He just said that.
Now, here's what he said.
Yeah.
He said that he got treatment, for COVID. If people didn't read anything further into what he said, they would be idiots to assume he meant exactly, oh, well, I got vaccinated. That's not a treatment. Okay, here's what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He got ivermectin, which is a human form, by the way, not the fucking horse medication that everybody on the MSM and apparently in pop culture seems to think it is.
And CNN, yeah.
It's been prescribed to millions and millions for decades.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a horse medication. It's a human medication.
Yeah.
Cut the bullshit. And he got what they call the kitchen sink. The kitchen sink is a flurry of medications that are all designed to kill any and all viruses a person may currently be infected with. All right? And the reason he did this, the reason he and his doctor did this, because he didn't just do it himself, he did it in concert with a doctor.
Which is what you should be doing. Do not listen to us. Consult your doctor on everything. We're just two idiots on the internet here.
Odds are your doctor will understand where you're coming from. And by the way, the vaccine does absolutely nothing if you have COVID-19. It does absolutely nothing for you. It's not a treatment for COVID. It's a theoretical preventative.
Just to warn you, the controller will go dead in a second, so you will go silent like in a few moments here. But I do have the other controller charged, so it won't be too long before I get you back. But keep talking until then.
Yeah, but where the controversy essentially comes from is his non-compliance with taking the vaccine. That's the core of it. But what he had stated was, and this is why the CDC posts this information, he discovered that the list of ingredients on the vaccine were allergic to him.
Mm-hmm.
He was allergic to them. And decided, well, this isn't worth me taking if I'm going to have a reaction, guaranteed, to the ingredients. So he decided to take the kitchen sink method in the event that he got COVID. Well, he got COVID. Well, which is inevitable if you ask people like me.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was going to get it. Everyone will get it eventually.
And just so you guys in the chat know, Desert Nord had gotten it like really early on throughout this whole thing.
Last summer.
And to my knowledge, I haven't. And
yeah.
So
what I was going to say, though, is that what they're mad about is his non-compliance with taking the vaccine. That's the only thing they're mad about. They're not mad about any other aspect of this. Because if they looked into it, they would realize all the man did was do exactly what you should do in the case of any illness. Seek treatment for an illness that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And do everything you can to prevent one
in the future.
Outside of hurting yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, because, like, here's a way to prevent COVID. You could, end yourself. Well, that doesn't help you because then you're defeating the point of surviving COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see why that's dumb? Like, if he took the vaccine, he may very well have died already because of the reaction.
Yeah,
idiots don't understand that.
Because there are some people that are having really bad reactions to the jab.
And so the fact that he is alive is actually more a testament to the fact that he didn't listen to any of you people. We could have a dead Aaron Rodgers if it were for the advice of the Twitter crowd.
Which I know this is going to sound bad, but it is what it is, which would really fuck up my fantasy team if Rodgers were to die. I'm just saying. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that if he were to die, that would fuck me over in fantasy. Well, kind of, because he's on the bench because he hasn't been playing that well anyway, but still. I'd have to go searching for a backup quarterback at that point.
But the whole story is enough to make a person go crazy, and not in any kind of unreasonable way. Go crazy as in, like, get pissed off society. Pissed off at what shall we say, the dumb masses, as it's been said.
The woke pieces of shit that have thick skin that get offended when a leaf falls off a tree. That's red.
Yeah, 1,000 other innocuous things.
Yeah. Speaking,
Aaron, we'll just say this: Aaron Rodgers did nothing wrong, as far as I am concerned. And
I'm in the same
for
boat
those of
too.
you out there that are pissed at him about anything, check your fucking receipts, because the man is alive, the man is fine, the man did everything he could for himself, his health, and his future.
The only thing that bothers me was what he was wearing on the Pat McAfee show for an interview. It was a Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker sweatshirt. That's the only thing I don't like about the guy.
Yeah, that was more offensive than anything else.
That's more offensive than anything he's ever said or ever done in his life, which is not saying much.
Up to and including dating Olivia. Anyway.
Well, actually, I didn't mind that because I kind
I'm just kidding.
Because I always did like her from Attack of the Show on G4.
But anyway,
so take that for what's worth.
That's all I have to say about this situation.
But
we can probably just skip to the next thing.
Which is John Gruden getting canceled. And according to this report, is suing Roger Goodell and the NFL over it.
Yeah.
And rightly so. Because what happened was private emails of him talking to one of his friends when he wasn't even employed by the NFL got leaked to the public, and then the Oakland Raiders and the NFL decided to fire him out of a cannon, a la Gina Carano style, kind of. And
CYA overreaction, can him immediately and ask questions later, sort of a canning.
But that's the difference between John Gruden and Gina Carano. Gina Carano just moved on. This man loves fucking football, and he will fight for it. So, of course, he's going to sue for everything that has happened to him with the NFL, because he was wrong.
Yeah, and here's the thing. What people say is not any of anyone's concern when it's in private. If none of what he said was public or intended to be, and none of what he said was actually intended or directed at anyone, and if what he said was at best edgy, if not completely, you'd have to be a sensitive ball in order to be even bothered by it. And you're expecting this to be okay, that he's just like completely over his career now. Completely over is what they want. Him to be done with everything ever. No advertisements, no job, no career, no nothing. No football. The man basically needs to go into a closet and die. It's basically what they want to do over this. And
that's generally what they want anyone that disagrees with them to do. Just go die in a closet, never exist again. Which kind of seems Nazi-ish to me.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. Directly from it. But the man deserves a little bit more respect than that.
Oh,
and I say
absolutely.
A little bit, a lot more.
And on top of it, he was removed from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Ring of Honor, which is complete fucking horseshit because he won a fucking Super Bowl in that city back in 1999. So he did a lot for that team.
You really kind of wonder how far gone the NFL really is, because
pretty far fucking gone.
There's a whole host. There's a whole host of NFL coaches and NFL players, if you go back to the 1950s, that you can remove everything from all of those people if you're serious about this. Like, you could basically delete the entire roster of the NFL circa 1990 or earlier if you're really going to hunt down every person who's ever said anything wrong ever and remove them from existence in the NFL. You got more work to do if you're going to keep that standard, because there's like every single player that played prior to 1990 that you have to remove from everything. Keep going, I guess, if you're going to be not hypocrites.
Yeah.
I guess you have to delete the existence of the NFL. It goes year zero on the entire NFL, up to and including all of Tom Brady's career, because he said shit they disagree with too. I mean, where does this stop? And the answer is it doesn't. So I'm not going to let them cancel John if I can help it.
Same here. I'm going to hold his name in reverence too because of everything he did for Tampa Bay, everything he did for Oakland, because the last year he coached in Oakland before he went back to the NFL, he took the Raiders to the Super Bowl without a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, we all know that we owe the Twitter crowd nothing, and he owes the Twitter crowd nothing.
Yeah.
The fact that the NFL thinks they owe the Twitter crowd something is bullshit, and they need to stop it. And fans need to say as much. Without any hesitation, fans need to come out and say this is bullshit, and we will end you, NFL, if you feel like this is your line.
The only people that I owe anything to are as follows. My mom, my sister, Desert Nord, the people in this chat right now, Chunk the Punk, Gaming or What, Joshy064, Mara Jade, Minority Home, the crew from Geeks and Gamers, that Tug Life, and anyone who follows me.
Yeah,
my fans.
It goes without saying, bro. Respect is earned, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if you think John Gruden hasn't earned anyone's respect, you're insane.
Mm-hmm.
AKA, if you're on Twitter saying that he's a horrible person, you're insane.
Same thing should be said for Dave Chappelle too.
Oh yeah, well he's the bigger example lately.
Yeah.
But many people, so many people, having to suffer the slings and arrows of bullshitters on Twitter and bullshitters on other social media sites, pretending that they have virtue because they hate something or someone for saying something. That shit needs to end immediately. That shit needs to be opposed directly and specifically by as many people as possible at every possible chance. Because that shit is not good, and we need to prevent our culture from being destroyed by those people. Because that's all they seek to do.
Yep. Speaking of those people destroying shit, the next Predator movie to be called Prey, which is evidently ripping off an SJW fan fiction of Predator.
Yeah.
Which features a Native American versus Predator. So bows and arrows versus Predator's technology. What could fucking go wrong here, folks?
Well, you'd think bows and arrows would have no chance.
And that's another thing. Something else I've been noticing in society, too. This constant need to erase any reference to Native Americans. Indians.
Oh, yeah, well, that's another one. Yeah.
That seems horribly fucking racist to me. Or,
no, I know.
Or maybe it's just us. I don't know. At
One
this
moment
point.
they're screaming about representation, the next moment they're trying to remove all representation. Like, okay, they want only positive representation. Who said that the Braves, for instance, was negative? I said this before in our previous chat. Who said that, like, say, the Atlanta Braves is a negative representation of Native Americans? Who said that was negative?
I guess
That's not negative at all.
I guess Joshy wants to join in.
Oh, okay.
Dare we surprise him? Because he just invited me to his party.
Okay.
Well, he's asking for it. He's going to get the surprise then. He'll be on the show. Whether he likes it or not now. So, Nord, as you were saying, because welcome onto the show, Joshy now. Hey, Joshy.
Is he there?
Are you there, Joshy? What a surprise.
Doesn't seem like he's there.
We're playing tag again, so continue.
Yeah, I was just saying that
if Joshy wants to start talking, we'll let him.
the thing is that the only people who could possibly see the Atlanta Braves or the Cleveland Indians or the Washington Redskins and see racism are racists. All of those things were representations. In fact, the Braves very specifically are a proud representation of Native Americans. Many of the local Native Americans are proud of the Braves team name and logo and everything. Many of them consider it a badge of honor.
This should give you guys in the chat what it's like, a normal conversation between Desert Nord and I off camera, talking about things like this. We'll start on one topic, and then that will lead to another. Then we'll go, how did we get from what we were talking about to this? So,
yeah, sometimes we drift a little.
So the Predator movie called Prey.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts going into it? Not that we're even going to watch the fucking thing.
It seems a bit like a foregone conclusion.
Because not only are they not creative and ripping off something, they're ripping off an SJW story on top of it. Like they're not even hiding that they're not even creative enough, but also to the point where they're ripping off shit that isn't even any good on top of it. Now, if they were to rip and lift the original, people would probably go, that's not creative as hell, but it was a good movie. So, okay, whatever. Without wokeifying the original, people wouldn't be mad about that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but they would also completely miss the whole point of what was so great about the original.
That's true, too.
They would make it about how Predator was just misunderstood and how society needs to accept him and all this other bullshit. That's what they would do.
Joshy, are you there?
I'm here. I'm just going to use the restroom real quick and then it'll be on.
Yeah. You ought to be fun.
6 gigs left.
Yeah, because now you're going to be on the live broadcast now. Because we are actually live on YouTube right now, so now you're going to be on Breaking Rocks.
Oh, yay!
Say,
that's awesome.
You were the one that invited us, and I'm like, fine then. If you want to be on the show, you can be on the show. I don't give a fuck.
I didn't know. That's all right. That's cool.
Yeah. So go to the bathroom, and then you can come back and you can weigh in on anything that you want that we've already discussed when you get back.
All right.
So Prey.
As far as the Predator, as far as the Predator thing goes, they just don't know what the hell they're doing. In fact, I really wish they would stop touching old IPs, leave them alone, stop destroying them.
Yeah.
Because I know what the hell you people are doing, and what you're doing is destroying American culture one piece at a time. And I don't appreciate it.
Because for the record, our history with Predator, we watched the first two with our dad when we were younger. Scared the fuck out of me, but we saw them at the time.
Yeah, well, that's because, young children watching an action film like that is, not exactly, that's not exactly the appropriate age for that.
But then again, Dad liked doing that with me because he had me watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And to this day, I hate space aliens. So...
Yeah, well, but in the case, I don't want to pay tribute or money or even really want to pay attention to any modern studio production of anything from the 1970s, 80s, 90s, or even the 2000s in remake form.
Yeah.
Or in revision or any other re-rating of anything. I don't want anything to do with any of that shit because I can't stand those people who are producing and creating that shit because they do not know their ass from their elbow.
So, with that said, the prosecutor in the trial of what's his name?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
used Call of Duty as the scapegoat for him resorting to violence and shooting those protesters. We are going to 1990s defense of prosecution of violence in the physical world with violent video games for the billionth fucking time of my fucking life. Again, I went down this road with Trump. I swore and cussed him out then too. This asshole is getting the same thing from me, as everybody will be, because studies show that the opposite happens with violent video games. It relieves stress.
Let's just make note that this is one of a string, if not a list at this point, of egregious offenses by the prosecutor in this case.
And there's been fucking many, because I've been watching this shit too.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a life either, apparently.
But secondly, on the actual specific point, here's a thing. If playing such games were in any way derived into actual violence, there would be millions upon millions upon millions, I mean maybe billions even, of active shooters right now. Like 1/7 of the planet would be actively shooting other people right now if video games had a measurable effect on a person's willingness to kill other people. Okay,
It'd be more like Grand Theft Auto.
yeah, exactly. It'd be a lot more like a Grand Theft Auto, especially with like a crazy mode mod or something. You know, like Apocalypse mod, Grand Theft Auto would be what the world would be like if video games had any effect on reality.
Before we continue, Nord, there is someone saying hi to Joshy in the chat. It's Chunk the Punk. He says, hi Joshy, LOL.
Hi, Chunk the Punk.
Yep.
How's it going?
And also, we have not really gotten into Halo or the Take-Two mod yet, because we were saving those for the end, because we want to try to end this on a positive note with all the bad shit that we've been talking about here. So to go back from the top for Joshy here, we started out talking about the YouTube dislike button situation. What are your thoughts on that, Joshy?
I don't like it. It's basically like what Brian Kittle and Geeks and Gamers were saying. Basically, it's to help protect the higher ups and whatnot, though, like Disney and the White House and whatnot, though.
Yeah,
it's my opinion for it.
After that, we went into I believe the supply chain thing. Gaming or What is joining the show now too. Hey, Gaming.
Hey, what's going on, people?
Well,
Getting crowded up in there.
Well, this is turning into a super show now. We got Drew, Desert Nord, Joshy, and Gaming or What. Or should I say, as Mandy Summers would say, Gaming or What? Anyway.
Yeah. It's about right.
Yeah. So, Gaming or What? Your thoughts on the dislike button?
Well, again, like I was telling you before we got started the stream, it is the reason why they taken away the dislike button is to protect the bigger corporations who are doing the wrongdoings.
Well then, Chunk, get an Xbox and you can join us too, my friend.
Yeah, come on, Chuck.
Yeah, Chunk.
And I'm not talking about a Series X. You can still purchase online and probably have ordered. It'd probably take a little while longer now, but an Xbox One would still do the trick too.
Oh yeah. My game just got finished updating, so.
Where is
I have 3 gigs left.
I'm at 56.9%. I got about 7 gigs left. But after
Let me see what they added.
after the YouTube thing, we went into the supply chain issue. Joshy, any thoughts on supply chain issues?
I think it's all planned.
So now we're going to get into conspiracy theories. Okay. Well, I said uncensored and no filter. Yeah. So
Even
yeah.
Kamala Harris said way before all this supply chain shit happened. She's like, go ahead, do your Christmas shopping early. And everybody's like, why is she saying that? And all of a sudden, like a couple weeks later, or basically a month later, don't quote me on that. She's the whole shipping industry is how it is right now. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They did expect Christmas all the way into the summer. They expected Christmas to be affected, definitely.
As I took it, but nothing really happens by accident. Everything's planned.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Chunk says in the chat, I wouldn't have space for an Xbox anyway.
No.
Oh well.
I don't know.
Well then, I guess you'll just have to stick it up your butt and plug it in that way. I guess, Chunk.
Damn.
Sideline mod for life.
So then, therefore, you'll actually be able to play Skyrim on your asshole at that point.
Well, if it's not on the PC, you can just play on a PC. Like, it doesn't need to be like a high-end PC either, so.
But gaming, your thoughts on the supply chain shit?
Well, it's like I said, nothing really happens by accident. I think everything's planned or to do something else down the line. Who's there to say that's not like, well, I can't really say that on YouTube, but let's see, how can I say this? Yeah, I don't get you kind of struck or banned. I guess exposures. I don't know.
Yeah, well, what I would say to your point is that it serves a good purpose for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's useful, if nothing else.
Yeah, it is useful for getting people to see that they made the wrong choice.
No, what I mean by that is it's useful for the sake of agitation. If you understand the administration's real goal is actually to destroy the system. That's their real goal. I mean, the backup people.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't.
Yeah, it's been like this. It's got into office.
No, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. When I said earlier that I haven't voted since the last 2012 election, it was because I had no faith in the system. It doesn't mean I want to destroy it. It's just that, I mean, some shit needs to change, not get destroyed. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, like criticizing a bad driver doesn't mean you want no one to drive. It just means you want them to drive better.
Yeah.
So,
I want someone who knows how to drive the fucking car.
there's no way he would hit me from there.
Yeah.
But with the Aaron Rodgers thing, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I don't really keep up in sports, so I really have no say.
Josh?
Yeah, I know he's the Green Bay Packers quarterback, though. He's all right, though, but just with that situation, I've been, like, looking into it. So, but I know, like, they said something
Fair
like,
enough.
what is it, it said something like, what is it, he was for it.
they
and
were
he
mad.
did- he died
They
or
were
something. I
pissed
don't know.
at
I
him that
was
he-
looking into it.
They were pissed at him that he didn't take the vaccine, essentially.
Like what?
That's what it boils down to.
It comes down to people's own personal health.
Yeah.
So,
Why does it even matter? Like,
so therefore, I'm not even going to waste your guys' time with, like, John Gruden
It's not a
and
whole lot
whatnot.
different than the Kyrie Irving situation.
what's going on with the Capitol?
Here we
Well, it
go.
was the same thing. Kyrie Irving didn't want to take the vax either, and people were pissed at him, and he was like, "It's either if it's the vax or my career, I'm leaving, and I'm leaving the NBA."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he did just that.
So
You capping big laws.
So I'll just skip past that stuff to stuff you guys will probably have something to say about on, especially since you guys watch a lot of the same stuff I do on the internet. So the next Predator movie being called Prey. Joshy, what do you think?
The last one wasn't bad. No, actually, no. I forgive me. The last one was really bad. I didn't like Olivia Munn's character. She was overpowered, and basically, like all the videos that I've been seeing, and basically it's a rip-off of like a video from a long time ago. Basically, they're going to have 2 female predators, I heard, and they're going to have that
Got it.
lady go ahead and kill off everybody. So basically, she's going to be overpowered and whatnot, though. OP.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be horrible.
Gaming?
I don't really have it. Again, I don't really have a game. Just the last Predator movie I saw was Predators, and that was what. Do I need to change it?
Like I said earlier, for Doesn't Order myself, we saw the original 2 with the first one. I think it starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then the other was Danny Glover. We saw both of those when we were kids with our dad. They scared the fuck out of me at the time because my dad liked doing that to me. Case in point, when I was a kid, he had me watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I loved my dad. He was my Iron Man, but I feel like he was intentionally trying to scare the fuck out of me for a reason, and I never, to this day, could figure out why.
Have you ever asked him, like, hey, what the hell did you watch this movie?
I can't. He's gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all I could do is think that was he was trying to make sure that I didn't turn into one of these blue-haired, shaved head weirdos on Twitter, which he was quite successful, if that were the case. And I want to believe that that was. But
I'm getting destroyed.
with that in mind, the trial of the century, as it's being called. What's the guy's name again, bro?
How written out.
Yeah, the prosecutor used Call of Duty to try to solidify that Wittenhouse was a violent guy because he played Call of Duty.
House. Okay.
Whatever his fucking name is, I don't care.
No, okay, I'm just saying.
I should probably edit it out because I'm probably going to get you banned. I just want to say something.
First of all, I have said horrible shit on my own channel. I have already said my piece, that being, I went up against Trump when he said violent video games leads to violence in the physical world. I said Trump's a fucking idiot then. This prosecutor is a fucking shithead now. If I haven't gotten banned for saying that, do not worry about it. Say what you want. You guys can say whatever you want because I've said worse shit on YouTube before. Because if you guys were listening to me, I brought up words that Google does not like Nazis, and comparing SJWs literally to fucking Nazis. Already in this stream, getting banned does not bother me. I have a gaming channel that I can lean back on, which is what I prefer doing anyway.
What you guys should understand is that, like, we were talking about election fraud in November of 2020. We were talking about COVID conspiracies in March of 2020. We were talking about, we're always pushing the line. We're serial.
Google does not bother me at all. Say what you guys want here. This is a place of free speech.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. But let me just say, for me at least, yeah, one of many egregious offenses by the prosecutor in the case.
Yeah.
The guy should be disbarred at least, if not held in contempt. So,
where did he come from? I just spawned in. Oh my god. But yeah, I started from there. What's going on with the trial? That's ridiculous.
yeah.
Like I said before, I don't really get into politics. I don't really like anything.
Yeah.
This, I believe, is the same.
I will
Definitely opposite sides.
I will end this topic with this. It seems like this guy that they're prosecuting is nothing more than a scapegoat. And I will leave it at that.
Well, they're trying making that. That's
Well,
really
they're
good.
trying. So
Yeah. And it seems like hopefully they are failing because the prosecutor is an idiot. But
I've never seen a case fall apart as spectacularly as that one.
to the last negative topic before what I consider to be a positive one, even though I'm not going to sound like it when I talk about it, but trust me, it is a positive one. But the last negative one, Take-Two is DMCA striking down GTA mods now. Here we fucking go again. Let's Go Brandon just appeared in the chat. Hey, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah. How are you doing, Brandon? That's never gonna stop being fun to say.
That's easy double kill.
Yeah, but Take-Two is DMCA striking GTA mods. Nord?
Oh yeah, it's a classic, isn't it?
No,
This
it's
is just some classic. This is some classic bullshit right here.
This isn't the last time that I've gone up against Take-Two, just like it's not the last time that I'll go up against EA, the White House, anyone that's full of shit.
Yep.
Which is why Breaking Rocks is going to have no shortage of shit to talk about over the years in the future. We're going to be here for a long time, folks.
Hopefully.
But with that being said, Joshy, any thoughts on the DMC striking of mods by Take-Two?
I haven't looked into that, so no comment.
Gaming?
Well, it's not the first time they've done something like this.
Yeah.
That's all I could do is say.
To my knowledge, they tried to do this with GTA 5 at the time because they didn't want people using mods online, which I understand, but the mods were for the single player. And they were banning people for the mods for the single player, thinking that they were using them for the multiplayer.
That's a double kill, boy. That's how you get it.
And our special guests are playing, I assume, Halo Infinite multiplayer right now while we're on the podcast.
I'm just starting it
Yes,
up
I am.
now.
Mine is still updating right now. Got about 40 odd some minutes left. But
All right.
seeing as how you guys are playing it, we might as well get to the main event, the title of the stream, finally. Halo drops the Microsoft at the 20th anniversary event earlier this afternoon actually announced by way of the creative director from 343 Games announced that Halo's multiplayer for Halo Infinite, it drops today,
Yeah.
which is free to play, and at the time of this stream it's November 15th at 2:47 p.m. Central Standard Time. So as you guys can see, it's currently updating so I can play it in about 43 minutes or so, give or take. My special guests are currently playing it from the sounds from the screen here behind me.
I only have it on my headphones, so you're not hearing it from me.
Well, I hear you guys talking about things that you would only be talking about, playing like Halo multiplayer.
Well, yeah. So the first map I played, I didn't really catch the name. It was kind of like a spin-off of Halo 4's map called what is that map called?
While you're trying to think of it, I will.
Not Halo 4, Halo 5's map. God damn.
Joshy, I said it's got 42 minutes left to update. I can't play it yet, ding dong.
But in terms of what I'm playing, so far it feels a little bit better. But I'm still trying to visual adjustment until the full game actually comes out.
So
To get my final thoughts on it. It's
So I will say this on it. going into the Xbox event, my intention was to do this stream and then lay down after this. But Microsoft just had to ruin it by dropping the multiplayer today. So now I'm going to be streaming that right after this on my Twitch channel as soon as that's done updating at that point, and then I'm going to attempt to stream that for about an hour or so and then lay down, because tomorrow I have the longest stream I'm probably ever going to do tomorrow on my Twitch channel of Drew Dad Games with 2 S's, playing Skyrim Anniversary Edition literally as soon as I get home from work until I can't stay up anymore tomorrow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You want me to send you a invite? Also.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I do have this match.
So with that being said, Microsoft just ruined the rest of my day with this release now.
You got fun.
So Nord, anything to add about Halo multiplayer dropping today without the campaign?
No, obviously this was the highlight of that event, and this is probably the highlight of the day in regards to gaming.
Or
It's absolutely
or just entertainment in general at this point.
something a lot of people have been waiting for a long time.
Which is why I'm wearing my Halo Reach t-shirt in the stream, because fuck my life.
Yeah.
I gotta go. How come who was with me? What the hell's my team, man? Like I was telling you before you started the live stream, they said they updated the game file last night afternoon. It was going live today. So,
well, I was going off of their announcement from their live stream this afternoon. I was gonna wait till they confirmed it there to actually say anything. So,
like if it didn't, it's gonna come out today. They said they updated the files last night.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh my god! Give it.
So with that being said, I got nothing else in my outline for the stream. Desert, nor do you have anything in mind to discuss before we do go through what's going on here later on?
Given that we have ourselves a little bit of a different audience this time around, I don't think I would elaborate too far into anything else. I do appreciate having some extra people. So that's nice.
Thank you for the surprise special guest for the first ever live edition of Breaking Rocks. That was unexpected. Joshi Gaming, thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, you guys just started popping in, so I'm like, fuck it, we're having special guests now. At that point.
Oh, that was a nice play.
And shout out to my friend in the chat.
That being Let's Go Brandon.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so was Let's Go Brandon one of the ones that suggested that music video that I reacted to earlier from Chris? What's his face?
Yes, very.
Oh,
why am I bagging?
Well, then thank you so much for that suggestion. Let's Go Brandon. It's live on the channel. You can go check out my reaction to Raw Talk or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
I came 6. They didn't have it.
Thank you, Chunk the Punk, for being here as well. And to anyone who will watch this after fact, thank you for doing so. Hit the like button or hit the dislike while you can. I don't give a shit anymore. See you on Twitch soon. Yes, I will be there as soon as this is done. It's about 38 minutes out. So a few minutes after that, I will be live on Twitch Chunk, and I'll see you there, where I will be playing Halo Infinite multiplayer, apparently today, with Gaming and Joshi here.
Yeah, I'll probably stream it after like a while.
Yep, as I will be as well. So with that said, don't forget to follow me on Twitter to know when I go live. Now on YouTube as well with this podcast and Drew Dad Games podcast on the Drew Dad Games channel as well. The next time we'll do that will be Friday. We don't know what time yet, but I will post that to Twitter once Desert Nord and I settle on a time for Friday for that.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow will be Skyrim, like I said, and anniversary edition, almost said special edition. Anniversary edition tomorrow, all day after I get home from work. And then I won't do another stream till Friday, that being on the gaming channel, to talk about more gaming shit. And actually going over specific things from the Xbox live stream from earlier this afternoon. So we'll actually properly review that there. With that said, thank you all so much for being here. See you guys on Twitch in give or take 45 minutes, hopefully less. But I'll see you guys over there. Have yourselves a great rest of your day. May the force be with us all. Microsoft continues to ruin my life. Raylos are weird.
Solo lost money.
Solo lost money.
Well, let's go, Brandon.
Let's go,
That's
Brandon.
good, Yeah.
That's Desert Nord's version of that. My version is fuck Joe Biden, and I'll see you next time, guys. Later.
Take care.
Later.